This video is going to show you how to hit a two-handed backhand. We're going to go over drives from the baseline, drops, dinks, and speed ups off the bounce, all with two hands. When hitting drives from the baseline, we have to make sure we're in the proper grip. We're going to be in Continental grip with our bottom hand, so just like we're hammering in a nail. And then we're just going to grab with this top hand so it sits comfortably on the paddle. Obviously, having a paddle with a longer handle does help. I urge you, if you have a paddle with a short handle, do not overlap your hands entirely like this. I see a lot of people try to hit two-handed backhands like this. It does literally nothing. Now for the footwork, we want to have our back foot completely sideways, and we want to step with our front leg and point our big toe wherever we want the ball to go. So if I want the ball to go that way, I'm going to step like this. If I want the ball to go that way, I'm going to step like that. It's important to note that when I see the ball coming, I'm always going to step back foot into front foot. This is going to help load my weight. This is a crucial step to get power. It's going to look like this, not like this. We want to have a short, compact swing. My paddle should be here in my peripheral vision when I go to hit. I can see the paddle right now. I should not be back here winding up, and I want to finish over my shoulder, just like I'm answering the phone with the paddle. I should not be like this. The mistake the majority of people make with their backhand that I see is that when they make contact to the ball, they try to be wristy. They try to flick their wrists or roll their wrists over when they make contact. We do not want to do that. The key to this and how to have a ton of power with your backhand is you want to push through the ball. So push all the way through as far as you can, and then let your wrists naturally turn over up top. It should be completely subconscious. Now for the last part of this, getting our legs involved. So no matter where the ball is, we always want to get underneath of the ball. We never want to be like this and then just drop our arms and do like this golfing motion. No matter where the ball is, we have to get under it. This shot is most important to have a good return of serve. It's really hard to generate any power with just a one-handed return. Now moving on to drops with two hands. This shot is super aggressive, and I personally love it for singles. However, it's still very effective for doubles. It's best when your opponent hits the ball toward the sideline, and you can use two hands and drop it to that corner in the kitchen. I don't use this shot going down the line because they can ernie it. I always do it cross court. For the form of this, with our footwork, I like to do a slight little bunny hop into the shot. So I'm like this, and my feet are completely still when I hit the ball. Quite the opposite of the forehand drive or the backhand drive, where I'm stepping into it. We want to be completely still with our feet. We want to use our wrists for this shot, where we have this little torquing motion when we hit the ball, where I'm pushing down with my bottom hand and up with my top hand. So like this. This motion is what gives us a ton of topspin. Now for dinks, this shot is killer to have in your arsenal, and there's two different ways to do it. I'm going to show you both. The first way is to just push the ball. It's super consistent, and there's nothing fancy to it at all. I'm simply just pushing. We want to use this push when the ball is shallow in the court, meaning it's not out here. We don't want to push when we're out here. If the ball's landing like here, this is when we want to push. Or if our opponent is in front of us, we want to push the ball in front. The second way to dink is that flick, just like our drop, the exact same form. As you can see, that type of dink is way more aggressive, but it's important to note I only ever use that if I'm going cross court and the ball is coming wide. The reason is this angle permits us to hit very aggressive as well as we're going over the center of the net, which is the lowest point, so it's easier to hit this shot. So to clarify, only if I get a ball that is breaking the plane outwards like this sharp, I am going to use that flick. If I have a ball where the trajectory of it is like this, and I'm taking it from back here, I am not going to use that flick. Only when the ball is breaking the plane outward. When we're dinking straight ahead, we're only ever going to use the push. The reason is we're so close to each other. By using the push, it allows me to keep the ball low. When I use that flick, the odds of getting it low and landing without him being able to reach in and get it out of the air, it's so unlikely. We want to be consistent and just push. It's the same reason why we don't flick from here to the middle. It's going to be so hard to get the ball down landing, getting it past his paddle. The only true opportunity opens up when we're out here because it's so sharp and it's the longest distance on the court. The entire reason we're even dinking with two hands is to set up this shot that we're going to go over right now. And that's a two-handed speed up off the bounce. This shot is super deceptive and it's my personal favorite. We have to be able to dink normally with two hands to set this shot up. Otherwise, as soon as they see us grab two hands, they know a speed up's going to be coming. Our wrists are going to do exactly what they've been doing all along for that dink and the drop. We're simply torquing. However, with our footwork, they have to be completely sideways. We cannot hit this shot like this. Being sideways is going to add disguise and make down the line or down the middle look identical. I'm only ever going to do this speed up when it's here. So look where Ridley's dinking the ball. This is the only time I'm going to speed it up. I won't do it if he's dinking more middle. It has to be out wide so we have the option to go down the line or to the middle. That's where the disguise is added. If the ball is being dinked to the middle, I can't go out wide. I can only go middle. So it's not as effective. It's crucial that we're only hitting the shot when our weight is neutral and we're not hitting it off our back foot or when we're not at the kitchen line. We have to be at the kitchen line because we want the distance to be as short as possible to our opponents. When we're back here, it gives them too much time to react. I'm trying to make it on the Pro Tour, so by creating these videos, it allows sponsors to see and potentially get funding for some of the events. Please make sure you subscribe and like the video so it boosts up my stats.